Hello and welcome to Arsenal Domination, where you will have probably already seen the news that Kai Havertz has picked up an injury to his knee and is out for an unspecified length of time, and that Arsenal are reportedly looking to go into the transfer market to bring in another attacker. Now, I think the first thing to say here is on Kai Havertz. Right now, we don't know how long it's going to be at all. We will need to wait and see from Arsenal. But I don't think this is necessarily uncommon to see after a serious injury like he had, to see another injury occur. We've seen it with Rodri at Manchester City as his return from ACL, and we've seen it potentially here with Kai Havertz. We don't know, as I say, how long it's going to be. I think if you talk to people, and I'm fortunate enough to know someone involved or has been involved at a very high level in sport. It was in the NFL, not football, but similar sort of thing when you talk about an injury, which is it is very common after an ACL for players psychologically to worry about it and to put not quite trust their body, and therefore to put extra strain into areas they wouldn't otherwise do, and then cause a reoccurrence of an injury. It's why I was talking last year about in games where I felt Timber just needed a rest, and with White and Tomiyasu injured, it meant putting someone out of position at right back. But I felt Timber needed managing, as he only fit right back to avoid it. Arsenal managed to manage him through for most of the season after that. Kai Havertz seemingly not in that position, but as I say, not uncommon, but concerning for Arsenal, because with Jesus injured, it really only leaves one real fit striker in the side, which is Victor Gyökeres. Merino, of course, deputised very well up there last year, but I don't think any of us really want to see a return to that. And Martinelli is another option. Merino, I suppose, would be the favoured position. He did it a little bit in pre-season, and of course, he could have used Martinelli up there last year and didn't. So this is obviously a concern for Arsenal. I'll update you when we know more about the injury, but I don't think it's surprising to hear Arsenal going back into the window for another option. I wonder if it might be two if the injury is long term, because I always felt that Arsenal will still bring in another attacker this window. If it is two, I think one is going to have to be a loan or a sort of cheap fee, someone that's maybe a little bit older that will cost 10, 15 million pounds. Not necessarily the right level, but a number. I think Arsenal have shown a desire to not do that unless absolutely necessary in the past. So I think a loan option might be more significant. And of course, we'd like to see the left winger come in. I think we will. And I think if Arsenal don't bring in a left winger, that's going to be a problem. And we'll see what they do there. I was talking about that this morning. But in terms of a striker, as I say, I think it could well be looking at a loan. Ollie Watkins could be a cheap option because Villa need to sell. But the loan option, it's not a popular one. But could Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea be a potential option there, given we know Chelsea are desperate to get rid of him and need to get players out too? Problems for Arsenal. We'll see what they do.